One of the amazing things about today's AI is that it doesn't just have to stick with language. I mean, these systems can interpret so many different types of information. It's not just text anymore. And that's what we're going to dig into today. AI that can actually see a problem and help you solve it. Okay, just imagine this for a second. Your internet is down. We've all been there, right? But instead of trying to explain all those confusing settings over the phone, what if tech support could just look at your screen and tell you exactly what to do? Sounds a little like sci-fi, but it's happening right now. And this is where it gets really, really cool. AI is evolving beyond just text. It's becoming what you'd call multimodal, which is just a fancy way of saying it can understand information from lots of different sources. Not just words, but also, you guessed it, pictures and screenshots. And that changes everything. So how does this actually work in practice? Well, it's all thanks to something called the flipped interaction pattern. Instead of you having to spoon-feed the AI every little detail, you just give it a goal. From there, the AI basically becomes a detective, and it starts asking you for the clues it needs, one step at a time. All right, so let's put this whole idea to the test. We're going to use a classic, super frustrating problem we've all had. The challenge for our AI is pretty straightforward. My computer isn't connected to the internet, and I need you to help me figure out why. So here's the prompt. We're telling it to help diagnose the problem one step at a time. But here's the kicker. We tell it that for each step, it should ask us to do something and then ask for a screenshot to verify we did it right. So the feedback it's getting isn't our words, it's going to be pictures. It's going to see what we see. So what's the AI's game plan? It breaks it down into 4 logical steps, pretty much what a human technician would do. But the big difference is this is all going to be done visually. So first, identify the system. Then check the Wi-Fi. After that, analyze the network settings. And finally, test the actual internet connection. Let's see how it does. First things first, right? Before you can fix anything, you gotta know what you're working with. So the AI's first job is to figure out what kind of computer it's dealing with. And just like that, its first request is simple and direct. Please provide a screenshot of your current system. It's not asking me to describe anything, it's just saying, show me. This is that flipped interaction pattern in action. The AI is taking the lead. So I upload a screenshot of my desktop, and bam, instantly it says, great, thank you. It looks like you're using a Mac. I mean, think about that. I didn't have to type a single word about my computer. It just looked at the screenshot, recognized the interface, and knew right away. That is absolutely insane. Okay, so now that it knows I'm on a Mac, it can start giving me specific instructions. So we move on to step 2, which is the most basic check of all. Is my Wi-Fi even turned on? So now the AI hones right in. It gives me clear instructions, click on the Wi-Fi icon in the menu bar, and then of course it asks for another screenshot. It's building its case, just gathering visual evidence piece by piece. And this part is just wow. It's not just looking at the picture, it's actually reading the text from the screenshot. It says, it appears that you're connected to the Wi-Fi network Home 699E. It literally pulled the exact name of my Wi-Fi network out of an image. It's collecting the data it needs all on its own. All right, so we're connected to Wi-Fi, but as we all know, that doesn't necessarily mean the internet is working. The AI gets this, so now it's time to dig a little deeper. So once again, it gives me precise Mac-specific instructions and asks for another more detailed screenshot. This time, it wants to see the network preferences window, because it knows that's where it'll find things like an IP address. And with this new piece of visual evidence, the AI makes a really important deduction. It sees I have an IP address and a router address, and it concludes, okay, my computer is definitely connected to my local Wi-Fi network. The problem isn't inside my house. So it's ruled out a local issue. The AI is now ready for the final test to see if I can actually reach the wider internet. You could say this is the final boss. At this point, the AI realizes it's time to get a bit more technical. The visual checks have gone as far as they can, so it pivots and says, okay, well, we need to check internet connectivity. Open the terminal application. And this is the truly brilliant part. It translates this high-level goal of check internet connectivity into a specific command the computer understands, ping 8.8.8.8. It knows this is a universal way to test if you can reach Google servers, which is a perfect test for an internet connection. I mean, let's just pause and appreciate what just happened here.
The AI confirmed the local connection was fine, then it correctly figured out it needed to test the broader internet, and then it translated that complex idea into a simple, perfect command. This isn't just following a script. This is actual, step-by-step, logical problem solving.
So look, this is more than just a cool tech demo, right? This completely new way of interacting with AI has some pretty profound implications for how we get things done.
Let's just break it down. The old way, you're talking to a blind expert. You have to be its eyes and describe everything perfectly. But this new way, this is a partnership. The AI guides you, and it uses its own sight to see the problem directly through visual proof.
And really, that's the bottom line here. When an AI can ask questions and literally see the answers for itself, it stops being just a tool and starts becoming a real collaborator, a true partner in solving problems.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? We just saw an AI that can see, but as these systems gain even more senses, the ability to hear, to actually interact with interfaces on their own, how is that going to fundamentally change the way we learn, create, and solve not just tech issues, but all of our everyday problems?